provide an escape route for 10 inmates.
There isn't an ounce of this man's history that doesn't escape.
Dennis says Massey, who's wanted for and kidnapping in St. Tammany, as well as domestic abuse and theft in Orleans Parish, had prior escapes dating back to 2007 and was no longer a candidate for one of the hundreds of electronic monitors placed on Orleans defendants.
He had no intention of wearing an ankle monitor. 2 hours. And he cut it off. And we had him in jail pretty quickly. We went and got him.
Massey was one of 10 inmates seen jumping off of a back prison loading dock Friday morning.
A 4-time convicted killer at 27 years old.
Just think about how horrible OPP have to be if you have more of a settled mind. With him, it ain't going to.
Groves calls on her nephew to turn himself in.
All right, what's up with the YouTube fam? I'm back again with another video, right? So listen, this is another little update on this whole situation that took place with the inmates that escaped the jail that's in New Orleans, right? So listen, it's a misconception on how many people were locked up. And yesterday, I looked at what I thought was a reliable source, and they were saying that all the people were caught. But ultimately, I ended up finding out that all other people except for 5 people have been caught. So half of the people are in custody right now. All of that 4, 3, 2, 1 and all the other shit is a lie. It's not true. Only 5 people have been caught, and I was under the impression that 9 of the 10 were caught, and that's not true either. But now y'all got the bona fide facts, and y'all can actually look this up. Now some of the videos that I may have or may bring may say certain things because I'm bringing different videos from different timelines. But the thing about me is I'm gonna let you know that, so you won't be just lost in the sauce about what's going on. But yeah, man, one of the inmates that is free right now, I think his last name is Massey, they said that he escaped like 4 times, or he made 4 attempts to escape or something like that. And I want to say that shit is crazy for him to even be, you know, able to get out or be in this minimum security type of situation. Now listen, they're saying that, well, they basically agreeing with what I'm saying too, and I agree with them on everything that they're saying. But I want to say, man, it looks like that a lot of people are trying to make an excuse for the guy who let them out. Now, I want to say this personally. Somebody actually told me a while ago, they said, well, he didn't let them out, he was threatened. Bro, people, goddamn, people try to be so, man, listen. He let them out regardless of what took place. He let them out. Now, if he actually was threatened and let them out, I don't know that to be true. But I want to simply just say that boy could have easily reported this shit or did something differently. Now, if they had him against the wall, you know, threatening him with the weapon or whatever the case may be, then I can understand that. But if he had the opportunity to get the hell away from them, then that boy did what the hell he wanted to do at that point, because he could have easily called anybody and said, this fool up in here trying to do something to me. You feel what I'm coming from? But anyway, go, man, I got a couple of different videos. One of the inmates' aunts is begging and pleading for him to turn himself in. Boy, I would have been so mad at my auntie getting on the internet doing all that shit. Hush, chill out, you making it worse. But ultimately, man, I got a couple of different videos that I'm finna show y'all, so we're finna get into these and talk about everything as things go on. I want to tell y'all I appreciate y'all for being here. I hope that everything is okay with you and your family, and I wish y'all nothing but the best in every aspect of y'all's life. When I say that, I'm only talking to those who say it back to me in return, and to those who reciprocate the same energy back to me as well, but just not typing it out for whatever the reason may be. Make sure y'all hit that like button if you're a supporter of the channel. And yeah, man, add all my social medias: Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, second and third YouTube channel. All that's going to be in the comment section if y'all want to add those. If you don't want to add those, I ain't doing no tripping. Other than that, let's go ahead and get into this and see what the hell is going on.
Law enforcement across the area search for the remaining 6 people who escaped from the Orleans Parish Jail Friday.
Authorities say the
5
Orleans
now,
Justice Center maintenance worker Sterling Williams helped them escape. Williams says one of the escapees, Antoine Massey, threatened to stab him if he didn't help. Now, a local provider of electronic monitors says that Massey should never have been placed in the general jail population to begin with.
Matt Dennis calls Massey an escape artist with a dangerous history, as Ralph Masson reports.
Look at
When it comes to the arrest of Orleans jail maintenance worker Sterling Williams, Matt Dennis says he wasn't surprised.
And you're astonished that they keep this level of risk on the first floor of that jail.
Dennis with ASAP Release Electronic Monitors is talking about escapee Antoine Massey, who was accused in court documents of threatening to stab Williams prior to the jailbreak if Williams didn't cut off water to the toilet that was yanked out to provide an escape route for 10 inmates.
There isn't an ounce of this man's history that doesn't escape.
Dennis says Massey, who's wanted for rape and kidnapping in St. Tammany, as well as domestic abuse and theft in Orleans Parish, had prior escapes dating back to 2007 and was no longer a candidate for one of the hundreds of electronic monitors placed on Orleans defendants.
He had no intention of wearing an ankle monitor. 2 hours. And he cut it off. And we had him in jail pretty quickly. We went and got him.
Massey was one of 10 inmates seen jumping off of a back prison loading dock Friday morning, caught on a camera that was not being monitored in real time.
For that footage that we've all now seen, where you have the 10 inmates running outside the facility, is there a door sensor there that would alert the command center that that door is now open? Some kind of alarm that goes off?
No, that is not an exit door.
As New Orleans City Council members investigate vulnerabilities in the prison security system, Matt Dennis is helping police in trying to locate escapees like Massey.
These escapes happen. San NOPD and state police and U.S. Marshals went instantly into our offender management system and identified the individuals in there that had previously worn ankle monitors.
And Matt Dennis says when someone cuts off an ankle monitor, he notifies the public immediately. It took more than 7 hours for the sheriff's office to realize the escape had occurred and notify the public.
Now, these fools had 7 full hours, probably more than that, man, to be somewhere else. Like I told y'all, and I'm probably going to say in all of these videos until everybody get caught, that they are so slobbering slow. They were in the same city, on the same streets, hanging with the same people, doing the same shit. One of them got caught on live. I just can't fathom being on live, knowing damn well I done escaped the damn jail. On live, nigga, like, I'm about to start talking to y'all like we right here, like we is partners, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Damn, bro. You pinging where you are. If you don't know what a ping is, it's like a ping is. It's kind of like, you know, a pin. You dropping your damn location. Bro, they can see where the hell you at, fool. And you are wanted. You know what I'm saying, man? You wouldn't have seen me no more. I would have been gone. And if you did see me or catch me, I'm going to be way, way far away. Nowhere near here. You feel me? But people just slow. They just comfortable and sit in their ways. Ain't no way in the hell I'm going to forget it. Boy, ain't no way in the hell I'm going to forget that I'm on a damn run. I'm going to forget everybody that I ever knew if I done committed murders and shit and I'm on the run. Y'all just have to see me in the afterlife, you know what I'm saying? Or see me when they catch me, if they ever did. But I'm not finna be out here just moving, just sloppy like that. But like I said before, it could be a lack of funds. It's definitely a lack of education and knowledge, because ain't no way in the hell you supposed to be doing this, no way. But yeah, man, it might be a lack of funds why they not moving the way that they needed to move. But I just feel like you got to be slobbering slow to be out here doing this crazy shit. Now, let's get into the next situation where the aunt starts speaking. Let's go.
After Friday's escape,
is involved in so many cases of violence.
Derek Wu Groves, a 4-time convicted killer at 27 years old, still on the loose after climbing through a hole behind a jailhouse toilet and scaling a fence to freedom early Friday morning with 9 other men. His criminal past, the most violent of the 10 men to escape the Orleans Justice Center Friday. District Attorney Jason Williams prosecuted Groves himself. His escape has made him uneasy.
Look, these have not been the most relaxing days since I found out from the media that he was a part of this jailbreak.
Groves was convicted last October of killing Byron Jackson and Jamar Robinson on Mardi Gras Day in 2018 in New Orleans' 9th Ward. He was given 2 mandatory minimum sentences of life in prison. Groves was tried 3 separate times in the killings. One was overturned due to being convicted being a non-unanimous jury. Another was a mistrial. During the 3rd, the state secured a conviction.
When you don't have every single witness come forward,
That boy been ice skating.
we're able to use the words and videos and posts of Groves himself from his own social media, in which they were bragging about what they did and making threats prior to.
Groves pleaded guilty to 2 counts of manslaughter for the July 2017 killing of Woodrow Smith and in the killing of a separate victim after his October conviction. Groves also has a criminal past in drug dealing in federal and state courts and stands accused of battering a correctional employee last year. Groves was awaiting sentencing in the manslaughter cases at the time of his escape. Groves' aunt, Jasmine Groves, maintains her nephew's innocence in the killings. She says Derek Groves has been stabbed 3 times while in jail. She says he never should have been able to escape had the jail been staffed properly. She adds that her family was more comfortable when he was housed at the Louisiana State Penitentiary.
Just think about how horrible OPP have to be if you have more of a settled mind. With him, it ain't going.
Groves calls on her nephew to turn himself in, out of a priority for his safety.
So in my heart, I just feel, and I'm praying to the Lord, he have him covered and protected, and I pray that they don't try to kill him.
Derek Groves is one of 6 men who remain at large after Friday's jailbreak. Authorities encourage anyone with information about their...
Now let me say this again for somebody who may have skipped a part or ain't paying attention or whatever the case may be. These videos are not in the exact sequence as things are in real life. These are videos that led up to this or just some valuable information that certain people didn't know. There is 5 people in custody right now. They're looking for 5 more people. Don't forget that. Now let's get back into it. And I got a special guest on one of these videos talking to y'all. Gonna be like, man, what the hell? I probably put it in the beginning of the video too so y'all can see him. But if y'all haven't, or if I didn't put that up there, y'all gonna see, cause y'all gonna be like, what the hell?
We're about to call Crime Stoppers at 504-822-1111.
Hey there, so I want to take you straight into the council chambers right now. It is a heated meeting. Sheriff Hudson is inside.
He don't give a damn.
And
He's talking.
again, this has been going on for quite a while. It is getting heated between the sheriff and council members. Yeah. Sheriff Hudson said today that I take full responsibility, and we're learning a lot of new details. The escape, we know that it started at around 12:30 a.m. OPSO discovered inmates missing at 8:30 a.m. and according to LSP, they were informed at around 10:03 a.m. NOPD was getting info from the media and the Fusion Center. We learned today that NOPD Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick actually called the sheriff and was notified at around 10:30 a.m. We're told the sheriff did not call the superintendent first. There's also about 900 cameras inside of the jail. OPSO does not have a constant security vendor under contract. It was also revealed that the jail lacks sensors and alarms. Sheriff Hudson admitting there were staff failures.
There were procedural failures and missed notifications. But there were also intentional wrongdoings. This was a coordinated effort aided by individuals inside our own agency who made the choice to break the law. One arrest has been made, and we are continuing to pursue everyone involved.
And so again, the meeting is still going on right now as we speak. Cassie Sherm is going to follow up on this as well. You've also been following this. You've been speaking with the police superintendent. What did you learn?
That's right. So the chief of police, Ann Kirkpatrick, she's been giving a clear message to anyone who is helping some of these escaped inmates that you will be found. So if you can, come forward and they will work with you, because she says even though they did get a head start, because there was about a 9-hour lag between the time NOPD was known about this whole incident, she says they will be caught, and she believes some of those inmates are still here in New Orleans. Now, yes, guys, as you guys saw earlier, Aubrey was showing you guys, there is a lot going on here with the sheriff right now, so you guys can see again. The chief of police is out right now. Everyone else is left, but earlier we heard from Colin Arnold, from Nola Reddy, as well as other law enforcement agencies. So everyone is working together, but a lot of questions right now. Why did it take so long for NOP to be learning about this escape, as well as what are the communications between the two groups? And so this is something that we're going to be following very closely, and I want to give you guys the latest updates. But from now, inside the room here, I'm Cassie Sherm. We're going to send it back to y'all.
All right, Cassie, and we're also following additional breaking news as calls are growing for Sheriff Susan Hudson to resign. Today, State Representative Jason Hughes joined State Representative Amy Adato Freeman asking for Hudson to step down. Freeman has said that if Hudson needs more resources to ensure security, that she could have asked the state, not blame funding. Leaders are supporting the governor's order for an audit and investigation by the state inspector general.
The Fox News alert: 6 of the 10 escaped inmates
in New Orleans are still on the loose. My boy.
But someone new is behind bars. 33-year-old maintenance worker Sterling Williams. According to Louisiana Attorney General, Williams said he turned off the water in the cell before the men removed a toilet and a sink. cut through the steel bars and then just slipped out. Williams says one of the escapees, Antoine Macy, threatened to shank him if he didn't do it, and another tried to steal his phone. Here with me now is someone who knows manhunt better than anyone, Dwayne Chapman, a.k.a. Dog, the bounty hunter. Dog, good to see you.
Okay, look.
Your take on this.
I don't know what he done did outside. They probably got somebody mad and all that other type of shit. When I say this my boy, it's because of his character on his show. Whatever Cuz did outside of there, if it ain't aligning with morals and principles that I go with, then I ain't rocking with him. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the show, I love the show. I watched it growing up and shit like that. So yeah, it is what it is. Now let's get back into it.
Crazy story.
Look at my boy.
Well, there's a lot of different things. Number one, what is 10 felons doing in one cell? How did they ever get out of there without anyone watching them? So I think that far, not seeing surveillance, all that, I think it is definitely an inside job.
Well, so the maintenance worker admitted to turning off the water, but essentially is saying he did so under duress or threat. Now, why he wouldn't have just gone to someone and said, these guys are threatening me, that makes zero sense to me.
Absolutely. And how, if they're going to shank him, they're supposed to search the cell, especially that biggest cell, every single day. So how did anyone even have a shank? It's a lot different, like a county city jail than prison. So how did how'd they get it in there?
Is there any reason whatsoever in today's day and age with surveillance capability, all the high-tech surveillance we have, even in prisons that are under a lot of stress, and this was because overcrowded, obviously,
Man,
is there any reason this should ever happen?
No people knew how to get around in there.
No, I've heard from a lot of people down there that it's a very poor, they don't have the money to do anything. They keep cutting their funding, and taking away what they got. So when you do that, this is exactly what's going to happen. 10 men together, all violent, most of them gun charges. You start sitting in the cell and planning. And some of them sit there for almost a year before they're given a preliminary hearing. So I don't know what's going on down there. It's absolutely insanity.
Now, I saw Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, last night at the White House, and we just talked for a few minutes about this, but I can tell you he wants answers. Apparently, Dog, it's not the first escape that one of these criminals has been part of. 2019, a jail in Northeast Louisiana. Macy is the one who allegedly threatened to shank that janitor, cut through a chain link fence, hopped into a car driven by an accomplice, and then was later found in the day 300 miles away in Texas. So he has some experience in this.
Yes, and I don't know if he's the oldest one. The oldest one was somewhere in their 40s, and he's the one running the show. And a lot of those guys, some of them's 19 years old, 21, 22. They don't know anything about anything. So, I feel sorry for them when they get caught, because they just added many more years. Well, a lot of them would never have gotten out of prison anyway, but it's a shame that police, sheriffs, jails are treated like this, because this is what's going to happen.
Do you believe that they instantly separated? Break up the group?
Nah,
I mean, too many people in one group to be able to hide, but they just went their separate ways?
No, sir.
Well, usually what they do is, they'll pair up, 2 or 3 will go, and then they'll have, in a few days, meet us at, some restaurant or they have a meeting place. But no, they don't all just, all split and go separate ways, or the cops would have caught them. Somewhere, some way, somebody is hiding the majority of them, okay? They're not all squatting in homes like they caught the guy today. So, it's terrible, terrible.
All right, Dog, thank you very much.
I just personally think that at least 1 or 2 of them had an elaborate plan to a certain extent. But ultimately, I feel like everybody get caught because it's checkpoints everywhere checking for them. You can't cross no borders and all of that shit. They had 7 miles to get across some stuff and they didn't do it. So yeah, it is what it is. But I will be coming at y'all with some more updates. Y'all know I don't like bringing updates, but I got to in certain instances, so it is what it is. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this whole situation, and I'll holler at y'all later on another video. All right.